Alright, so I've got a little bit of a problem here. I've got the script for my next video. It's Wednesday, so my next video is going to release tomorrow, Thursday. And I'm reading this script, I'm going through the script, I'm still writing it, and I'll be honest, I don't like it. So normally what I like to do is I like to have an idea of what my video is the week before, but sometimes I'll change the idea depending on what I do. After writing it out, it just doesn't sound right. I don't think the idea is developed fully. So I think I'm going to leave this now, and instead I'm going to come up with an idea on the fly, which I know is terrible. I'm going to do a few things that will help me come up with ideas, and I'll get back to you. But first I got to feed my guinea pig, so I'll be back. Here, Mumford. Here, little guy. Here, Mumford. Here, Mumf. So, the hardest part of my job, and pretty much all of what I do at home, is trying to find a good idea. And it's hard to find an idea. It's even harder to find a good idea. And that's pretty much what I struggle with most of the time, is coming up with a good idea for whatever client video I'm making or for even my YouTube videos. So, I'm going to do right now what I do most of the time whenever I'm struggling with an idea I already have or struggling to find an idea. And that is to go take a shower. Okay. I just took a nice, hot, long shower, and I'm 100%, okay, not 100%, like really 65. I'm 65% ready to do this video. Now, of course, I had the idea before actually taking a shower, but the shower kind of helped me, you know, put the idea and get into the fine details and all that. And now I'm here. Like, my hair is still wet, and I like the way hair looks, so it's more done on purpose than anything else. So this video, I wanted to talk about ideas, because for artists and pretty much for everyone in the world, ideas are like a currency. They're incredibly valuable, but very hard to get. For a lot of artists or content creators or pretty much anybody who does their own creation or anything like that, especially those of us who are making consistent content, ideas are pretty much the source of our inspiration. You know, when we come up with a great idea, we make, you know, a video, we make a painting, or, you know, we do whatever our art is and we create it. So I'm sure you're familiar with the concept of writer's block, and writer's block, or idea block as I'll call it in this video, is very, very common. I'm very confident that every artist in the history of this world has suffered from idea/writer's block. And so what I wanted to talk about is how to get over that, and how to come up with ideas, especially if you're like me and you make content on a very consistent basis. So this video, I'm just going to share 4 tips that you could use to come up with ideas so that you can start your next project or your next artwork or whatever. So tip number 1, I pretty much went over. It's take a shower. The great thing about taking a shower is that it gets you away from your phone, it gets you away from music, gets you away from everything, and it's a very mundane task, so it allows your brain to kind of, you know, run pretty much. Here's a tip that really helps. As soon as you exit the shower, write your idea down, because you are absolutely 100% going to forget it. So grab your phone, write it down quickly so that you don't forget it, and then you can move on. So we're going to move on to tip number 2, which is to write. Now, writing is very important because our mind goes at a very incredibly fast pace. It's so fast that our writing and our speaking can't even keep up with how your brain thinks, right? It's thinking of a million things at pretty much a mile a minute. So what's happening is that your brain is pretty much slowing down to the pace of your writing, so that way you can pretty much write what you think and your mind can process exactly what you're thinking. So I do this thing called free writing. What free writing is it is basically like 10 to 15 minutes where you write. You don't care about grammar, sentence structure, spelling, or anything, or tangents, or continuity. You don't care about any of that. Instead, you're just gonna write whatever comes to your mind. And the great thing about this is that it allows you to get all your ideas out on paper, so that way you can kind of walk through your process. Tip number 3 is to basically get out of whatever environment you are in and just go somewhere else, because especially like me, when you're stuck in this one area, you're basically surrounded by the same thing. There's nothing hitting you to inspire you or anything. So if you go out for a walk, or if you go to the mall, or if you know, just change your venue, even work in a coffee shop, it allows your mind to kind of get exposed to new stimuli, and that way you can kind of draw more inspiration from that. And I think that's really important, is to slow down, and usually moving to a new environment really does help that. And finally, tip number 4 is to take a break. Now, especially when you're trying and desperately trying to find an idea or refine an idea so that it's really good, you can really go down this wormhole where you're 6 feet deep into this idea and you pretty much, like, that's all you're focused on. And so sometimes it's really nice to just kind of step away and take a break and do something else. You know, give your brain like a little bit of a breather and just, you know, let your mind kind of just relax for a bit. I find when your mind is more relaxed, it's easier to come up with ideas compared to you stressing yourself out and coming up with an idea. And it's really important to take breaks, just because if you stress yourself out a lot trying to find an idea, if you're really putting a lot of pressure on yourself, it causes more damage than you think. So honestly, take a break, relax, watch something on Netflix, just do something mindless, let your mind kind of clear out, and you know, it will come to you eventually. Just trust it that it will come to you, and it will come. Now, a bonus tip that I'm going to include is to kind of set a deadline. And what I notice is that your ideas come as soon as that deadline's there. So I remember when I was in university and I had to write a paper, my best papers came from like 6 hours before the deadline, just because I couldn't come up with an idea. I don't mean like start working on it then, like the idea kind of has to marinate in your mind and then it'll come out with something really nice. But if you like start it really late, that's obviously not good. But if you kind of start, you know, researching, reading and all that, and then 6 hours you figure out exactly what you need to write, that really helps. So I'll review the 4 tips. The first tip is, wow, I already forgot. The first tip is to take a shower. The second tip is to write down, and don't even worry about grammar or anything, just write all your ideas down for 10-15 minutes, and it really helps. The third tip is to get out of your environment, go somewhere else, go somewhere new, and you know, let all those different experiences come in. And the fourth tip is to take a break completely from idea searching and just relax and let the idea come to you. Speaking of tip number 4, I'm actually going to be trying that next week. Next week I won't be making a video. For those of you who are my regular watchers, this will be something more for you than the people who just stumbled on this because, you know, YouTube. So anyways, I'm gonna be taking a break. I just want to kind of be able to formulate my ideas, figure out exactly what I want to do with this channel, but it's more that I just want to make sure that I'm putting out the best content for you. So I really want to ask you, and I'm really asking, if you have anything that you want me to make videos on, if you want to know anything about me personally, or if you want to know anything about filmmaking or anything that I'm working on or any of that, please leave it in the comment section below, and I will definitely try to make a video about that when I come back. I'm not sure how long my break will be, but it's not going to be too long, but I do want to take a break just to kind of let my mind really think about what I want to make in the next few months and just kind of get ready for that. And I'll miss you. No, I won't. I'm kidding. I've got other things to do. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and make sure you hit that bell notification to find out when my next video is, because I don't know when it will be. And I will see you in the next one, whenever that is. So. Also, before I end this video, there's actually a really good book for creatives, kind of just about coming up with ideas, being original, and it's really good. It's one of my favorite books. I don't have it, which is really weird. I think someone borrowed it from me and hasn't returned it. It's called Originals by Adam Grant. It's a great book. It breaks down the whole process of being original, gives you examples, and even gives you some really good tips. I would definitely read it if I were you. And if you have my book, please return it. I will mention you in the video. I'll give you a shout out. Whatever you want, just return my book. I really want to read it. I don't know where it is. Maybe I lost it. I don't know. But return it, please.